Hi, I've got some arcs to talk to you about that they all come out on the 13th of February. Can you believe that? They all come out on the same day. And, I'm going to really struggle to get them read before they do, before they're published. I like to get books read before they're published, but I think this time I'm going to fail because 8? Look how, whatever. Anyway, I'll go through them and let you know what's on my reading list. And the first one it's the second one by C.L. Miller. She wrote the Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder. I think that was the correct title, and this is the second one. And it's called Death on the Red Sea by C.L. Miller, the Antique Hunter's Death on the Red Sea. And this time you're back with Freya, you're back with her Aunt Carol, and there are more sleuthing. This time a painting vanishes from a maritime museum, a dead body is found nearby, and they're called in to investigate because they have now established the Lockwood Antique Hunters Agency, and a lead takes them aboard a glamorous antiques cruise sailing towards the Red Sea, and they discover that the ship's art gallery is filled with stolen paintings. So that's the premise of that one. The next one, I'm going to have to keep flicking backwards and forwards on this. I'm sorry about this. It's The Taking of Irene Hart by Madeline Rice. This one sounded interesting. It's 1859 Somerset, England, when widow Esther Hart decides to sign over all her family's worldly goods and their freedom to a secretive religious community. Her daughters, headstrong Ruby and fragile Irene, have little say in the matter. Led by the charismatic Reverend Peters, the women enter a world with its own set of rules, and where Irene, cursed with seizures and ill health, is believed to have second sight. But as they are drawn into the community's twisted philosophy, Ruby detects a darker truth stalking its shadowy corners. So that sounds quite mysterious and intriguing. Then the next one is Nan Tyler. And this is her new one, and it's called 3 Days in June. And it's the day before her daughter's wedding. Things aren't going well for Gail. The first thing, she loses her job. Then her ex-husband Max turns up at her doorstep, expecting to stay for the wedding. He doesn't even have a suit. Instead, he's brought memories, a shared sense of humour, and a cat. And just as Gail is wondering what's next, their daughter Debbie discovers her groom is keeping a secret. And as the big day dawns, the exes just can't agree on what's best for Debbie. So it's all to do with weddings and secrets and families. And I've read Ann Tyler before and I enjoyed reading her. So another one. Then the next one is, hang on, I've lost my page now. 1 second. The Cafe with No Name by Robert Sitala. I think that's the way you pronounce it. 1966, Robert Simon has fulfilled his dream by taking over a cafe on the corner of a bustling Vienna market. He recruits a barmaid Miller, and soon customers flock in, factory workers, market traders, elderly ladies, etc., etc. All bring stories and plans for the future. And as he listens, romances bloom, friendships are made, and fortunes change. But change is coming to the city, to the little cafe, and to Robert's dream. So that sounds how ordinary life in its own way can be extraordinary. Then we go on to Cara Hunter's new one, Making a Killing. I read her other one. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Murder in the Family, and I enjoyed that one with the twists. And this is another twist. One looks like another gripping crime figure about a figure from the past. In 2016, 88-year-old Daisy Mason vanished from her Oxford home. Her disappearance made national press, and the final culprit shocked everyone. DC Adam Fawley remembers the case. He arrested Daisy's mother for the murder himself. But her body was never found. Now forensic evidence at a current murder scene calls the whole case into question. And Adam Fawley and his team are called in to investigate, and they have one question: what really happened to Daisy Mason? So that sounds a nice, like, crime thriller. I've got all these to read, will I get them read? Who knows? I will read them, but they probably won't all get read by the 13th of April. No, February, not April. Then the next one is Life Hacks for a Little Alien by Alice Franklin. The Tender and Life Affirming debut, and it is... it says it's perfect for fans of Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Climb up here, little alien, sit next to me, and I will tell you about life on this planet. I will tell you how it goes. From her first words to her first day at school, little alien can't help but get things wrong. She doesn't understand the world the way others seem to, and the world doesn't seem to understand her either. Her anxious mum and meticulous dad, while well-intentioned, are of little help. So it's all to do with... it's a novel about the power of language and the wonder of libraries and how to find a path that fits when you don't. So it gives me sort of Bobby Palmer vibes. The one about the egg, and I can't remember what it was called. Then we've got The Boyhood of Cain by Michael Amherst. And this one is a debut novel about a boy on the precipice of adulthood, struggling to understand how he might give and deserve love. Danny's family live in a large house close to the school where his father is headmaster. His father's importance gives Danny certain privileges, but it also sets him apart. When a new boy, Philip, for whom everything seems easy, arrives, he surprises Danny by wanting to be friends. So when they are invited to work after school with inspiring artistic teacher Mr. Miller, Danny believes he's found somewhere he can shine. Until his world tilts, his father loses his job and their house, and Danny finds himself shut out from Mr. Miller and Philip's world too. So it's an exceptional debut. They're about a boy coming to consciousness as his family falls apart. So that one looks good as well. And the last one, The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I adored Wayward, so I'm hoping that this one will be just as good. Sisters separated by hundreds of years, voices that can't be drowned out. Lucy is running from what she's done, the terror of waking with her hands around her ex-lover's throat, his face turning purple and his eyes bulging. Pursued by nightmares and with nowhere else to go, she makes for her big sister's clifftop home. But when she arrives, Jess is nowhere to be found. The town is strange and full of rumours. A dozen men disappeared without trace, women's voice murmuring on the waves. A foundling discovered in a sea-swept cave. As Lucy searches for Jess, her dreams seem to draw closer. She can see two sisters in a murky path. She can see a world where men always seem to get their way, and something in her body wants to fight back. So it sounds intriguing. Could the answer lie to who she is? Could the answer lie in this quiet, sea-soaked town? Could it lie 200 years deep in the past? So that sounds really intriguing. My only problem is going to be which order I read them in. So, which one comes first? So I think I've covered all 8. Have I? Have I covered all 8 that come out on the 13th? Let's have a look. Boyhood of Cain, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I have. Yes, I've covered all of them. So yes. So those are the 8 that I'm going to try and read by the 13th of February, and which I will fail to do. So I will leave you now. I'm going to be busy. So, we'll see. Happy reading. Take care.